see what all comes with the Toolbox Max. There's your exhaust duct. There's your exhaust. And the muffler. That's for your exhaust duct if you want to use that. Your extension harness, and that's so that you can pull the control off. I'm sure that you can pull the control off that. And then there's your 12-volt battery hookup. And this is the 110 hookup right here. Go ahead and open it here. There it is right there. We'll probably end up using that. All right, here's some brackets. I'm going to have to read up on those. I think these are legs for it. And some more miscellaneous hardware here. So all that comes with the unit. It is awful cold out here, so it'll be nice to have that. Right now it is 32 in here. All right, folks, we're doing the winter test on the brand new Hcalory Toolbox Max. I just received this. As you know, I've done one review already on one of those. I use that heater all the time in my cabin. What I'm going to do here, I haven't even fired this one up yet. So I thought I filled it up with fuel. I thought we'd leave it out in the snow, let it build up all day today. And tomorrow I'll come back out here and we'll fire it up and make sure it still runs. They claim it's waterproof or water resistant and weather resistant. So we're going to give it the overall test this week. We'll go ahead and do a long all-night run on it too. Test the heat of it. I'm going to put it in the cabin and heat the cabin. I'm going to try and run it for 24 hours on probably low heat, because I think it'll do the full 24 on low heat, which will get it up, I think, in the 60s, which will be fine for me in there. I don't mind it being around 62 to 66 degrees in there. I'm fine with that. But we'll put this Toolbox Max to the test. I'm going to go ahead and come back out here. We'll unbury it later and we'll fire it up. I'll bring a battery out here. I got the plug set up for the 12 volt here. And we'll go over the details of this later in a nice warm dry area. But for now, let's just go ahead and start this test. Well, good morning. 31 Fahrenheit out. I let that heater sit out, the Hcalory Diesel Max, overnight. It snowed a little bit last night. Let's go take a look at it. I'll pull it inside and we'll see if it fires up. All right, as you can see, I left it out in the weather. I've never fired it up yet. It's actually a little bit of ice and stuff on there. We'll go ahead and pull this in. It's been sitting out all night. This is the winter weather test. Let's go. All right, this remote has a CO sensor. You could put a lanyard right here if you wanted to. And this is the on switch. So let's turn her on. I'm going to set the temperature on the controller here to 60 Fahrenheit overnight. I'll fire it up with the remote, which we'll go ahead and hit that right now. There we go. You can see it's kicking on. So right now it's just blowing cold air. And then when it turns red in here, I'll zoom in a little bit for you. When it turns red over here on the other side, that means heat's coming out. One of the nice things is that I can do all this from the Hcalory app, which I have on my phone here. and it says it's connected. So I can bump it up. I put it in Fahrenheit, and I'm also in high elevation. It's showing I'm at 4,265 feet here. I'm running off 12 volt, which is the battery out to the side. I don't know if you can see that. And currently the body temp of this is 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and the ambient air temperature in this room is 65. It is 33 degrees outside. So from the Hcalory app here, I can change my set points, I can see what is going on with it, and I can check the status without getting up every few minutes. So how about, it's just now kicking on. Okay, we'll bring it up to 60 here, and you can see it's going to start changing down there too. And there we go, it says 60. You can see it's red on this side of the app, on here, on the controller. All right, put that protective cover on it. So it is running. It made it on the weather test, being out there in the freezing cold overnight. And then I brought it in and let it dry. All right, folks, we're about an hour in. Hour and a half, sorry. And this thing's running really good, extremely quiet. I am so pleased with this thing. It's super comfortable in here. So we'll come back later in the morning, crank that heat up on it. We'll see where the level is. We're still showing full here, and see how easy it is to read this. I'm curious how well I can see the level. So we'll check that out. Everything seems to be running really good. No smells or anything. I've got it ported out through the wall here. So the heater definitely did a fast heat ramp up at the beginning. It came up to temp pretty quickly, maybe 3 minutes, and now it's settled in at more of a steady cruise. Noise-wise, the pump is quieter than the older diesel heaters I've used. And once you've been in here a bit, it just becomes background noise. So I'm very pleased with this Hcalory Max diesel heater. It is awesome. It's so quiet, but the perks of this: bigger fuel tank, longer runtime, remote with a sensor, a CO sensor, is another perk of this one. And just the way the unit's set up, it's just really super nice. It doesn't look bad, it looks good, and it's a fantastic little heater box. So we'll come back tomorrow morning. It's going to run all night. We'll ramp up the heat in the morning because it should be down to probably 60 in here. We'll bring it back up about 5 more degrees to 65, and we'll let it run all day at 65 for our real world test. Well, good morning. So this morning I get up and it's actually showing that it's 66 degrees right now. It was 65 a second ago. So as it's warming up outside, now it's 31 Fahrenheit, and it's been working fantastic. It's barely used any fuel, and it's still running today. So we'll keep it here. I'm not even going to turn up the temp. I have it set at 60. This is such a small insulated cabin that it seems to be heating up just quite fine. It may have been 65 all night for all I know. I was asleep. So anyway, that's where we're at. It's working fantastic. I'm very happy with it. It's super quiet. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to keep it running today. In fact, I'm going to keep it running tonight and tomorrow too. And we'll see where we're at. If we still have plenty of fuel in it, let's go for a 3-dayer and see if we can make it close to 72 hours running on low heat. So I'm interested. This is a long test. I'll do flashes of this for you on the videos so that you don't have to deal with too much talking and taking too long. But I want to give you a long, basically I just want to do a full tank run and see how it works. So far I'm very impressed with it. I really love this unit. This Hcalory, H standing for heat, calorie for the unit of heat. We are down just below this 6.5 liter mark. Shaking right there. It's right about there. That's what it looks like right now. So you can see kind of partially in the camera. I've got a battery charger here. Right now the battery's off charge, but I'll charge it with my solar system later and make sure this battery can keep this thing powered up the whole time. Blowing out nice steady heat, not too hot. So in this case it's still nice and cool everywhere. So it's working good. Been running good. Been keeping the cabin around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. We're down to 53% on the fuel. So that's what we have left. And I don't see a problem getting through another 24 hours keeping this cabin warm. So we'll see how that works. And I'll give you my impressions and stuff. But we'll come back to this evening, take a look at it, see where the fuel level is again, and I'll give you an update on that. So that's it for the moment. So far, so good. This has been running on that one tank right at that mark. So I'm going to say it's 30 to 35% on 7.5 liters. We'll give it a couple more hours tonight and see what happens. All right, so on the temperature sensor, the control here, you can see I have it set to 32 degrees. I found it keeps my cabin warm. So even though it's 36 degrees outside and this cabin's so small, on low, I'm actually at 68 in here, which is perfectly comfortable for me in this cabin. But we're talking about 165 square foot cabin max, and that's including the loft area. Bathroom is cooler, even though I don't have anything but a curtain for that bathroom for that reason, but it's a separate room altogether. So it doesn't really get the heat because I don't have it blasting that way. But the nice thing is, last year my water froze underneath my sink. This year it froze again, and I think it's just the water line running from the bathroom in here along the wall. I got to do something different. But last year my faucet froze. I had to replace my faucet, and that was really the only thing that went bad. But my pump froze too, but it didn't go bad. One of the connections at the pump did, and the line froze under there. But that won't happen this year. Last year I definitely didn't have underneath the sink insulated, so that cold air would rush up underneath is a cubby area. That's why the cabin's sitting on top of the ground about 5 feet above the ground behind the camera side. It's a lot lower over here. It's probably 3 feet where I'm standing, so it's a couple more feet at the other side of this cabin. So rather than leveling out the ground, I felt that I wanted to work with the land. So working with the land, I just leveled out a platform to build on. And really, originally, this building was not meant to be here. I was going to put logs on this deck and use it as make my beams, store them on the deck till I'm ready to build my home. But because of the slope, and if I came in sideways with 27-foot beam or a 20-foot beam, the tractor would just flip. So I didn't stick with that. So if you look at videos in my past, you'll see where I built this as a wood drying deck originally, and then it transformed and morphed into a cabin build. So that was a way for me to get rid of my travel trailer, not keep it and let it go bad here. There was no point in keeping it. I can build everything I need on the property. So at any rate, I'm really pleased with this. You can see it's very quiet. It's actually louder down here than it is up in the loft, but it's keeping this cabin toasty. So let's continue with this. And then, all right, my friends, it's exactly 3 more hours. 8:05 right now, 37 outside, 67 in here. We still have fuel in it. Let me see where we're at. We're at 27%. So 27% left. We'll start it back up tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down tonight. Go ahead and shut it down. I'll just use this remote here. I believe if I hit that, I can't really see it right now. It is now going to cycle off. It says off right there. So it's cycling off. So tomorrow we'll go ahead and fire this up in the morning. It's going to be cold anyways. I need to cut up some firewood and stuff tomorrow because I'm going to start using the wood stove more. But I'll keep this for in the morning. So I'm going to fill it back up with diesel after it runs out. I'm going to get it close to running out. I don't want to run it completely out because I just don't know that that's probably good for it or not. I don't know. But I'll get it close to almost on empty. And we'll see how many hours we get out of it. So have a good night. I'll see you in the morning. All right, good morning. So we had the atmospheric river run through here. Had nothing but rain and wind last night. Probably can hear in the background I got the generator running because power's a little bit low right now. But we're at 35 outside, so we're just above freezing. And it's 52 degrees in here. So we're going to go ahead and fire up. Okay, it's officially fired up at 10 after 7. And we're at 27 to about 27%. I was going to say 25%, but it looks like we're right at that mark there. No, we're below it. We're about 25%. I'm going to see if I can get, gosh, I would think I could get 4 more hours out of it. But I don't know. We will see. It's kicking on the heat right now. Okay, we'll be back. I'll check back with you periodically and we'll see what time it is. All right, it's about 12:21. The heater's still working, but we're right there at the empty level. And it's 36 outside, a little warmer than it has been lately. It's 63 inside. Just consider this the end of it at 12:21, so about 9 minutes shy of, what is it? I think it was 7:10 I started. So just 10 minutes or 9 minutes shy of 5.5 hours. Well, it's still running, so now 8 minutes. Anyway, that puts us at 61 hours, 21 minutes. So I did start out at a higher temp on here. Then I adjusted it when it got plenty warm in here. I adjusted it down to the lowest temp possible. This morning I started out with a higher temp again. And then about an hour ago, when I noticed it was around 65, 64 in here, I decided to go ahead and drop it on down to the lowest setting again. Which the lowest setting is what I'm pretty sure that they came up with their time on. So depending on what you set it at, real world temps, you know, in a small place like this, you can keep it at the low setting. It'll be just fine. So I will leave links to this Hcalory Toolbox Max heater if you're interested in it. And I want to thank Hcalory for sponsoring me a second time. Super useful for off-grid life. And I think it's just a fantastic thing to have in addition to a wood stove. But I prefer it over propane. I actually like it better than a propane heater. And I had no clue that they made diesel ones until they contacted me. I just never really looked into it. So at any rate, it's 12:24. So about 6 more minutes. I'm going to shut this thing down. Thank you for watching my video this week on the Hcalory Diesel Max heater. It turned out to be a wonderful heater. I was going to tell you a little bit about it, just some of the details. So they claim it's got 62.5 hours, extra large fuel tank, obviously 7.5 liters. And the wireless system in it is a temperature sensing system. That's new. The carbon monoxide sensor also is new. And this is an all-in-one design. Integrated dual handle design right here. integrated on both sides here, which is really handy for picking it up and keeping it a balanced weight. So that's really nice too. It's got snow and rain resistance. It's IPX4 rated, and it's actually got a nice, quiet, silent, almost totally oil pump in it. When it's running, I don't hear it at all. So it's noise-free running pretty much. When it first starts out, probably because I have it on fire bricks, and I've got a big open area underneath this cabin, I got a little bit of reverb or a little bit of background noise I get in comparison to a little more solid place probably. But once it gets up and running, that's the initial start. It smooths out and everything's super quiet. Just a white noise sound is all. And when I'm up in the loft, I almost pretty much don't even hear it. So that's really nice. It's got a innovative wireless temperature sensing system in it. We can talk about the app a little bit. I'm really pleased with the app. I use the app mostly. Once in a while, I'll come down here to the little control and I'll fire that up. I'll use the remote up there in the loft at night, so like in the middle of the night, if I wake up, I can just turn it on for a little bit, go to sleep. Next time I wake up, I can shut it down, or in the morning, I can turn it on. I don't have to come down here to access anything, and I don't have to turn on my phone, because that takes a little time. But the smart Hcalory app, it has a high altitude mode, which I have mine in. It's got multiple timers I didn't talk about, so you can set this thing up for coming on and off at different times, at different intervals, which is a really nice feature I haven't played with yet. It's got an automatic start and stop, 10 adjustable heat levels. So if you stay in the 1 through 10, that's preset heating temps for each one. I went ahead and put it into temperature so I can actually adjust the temperature. I could have ran it on 1 and would have been just fine in this tiny cabin. It's got a fan mode, so if you just want to circulate the air, you can just run the fan. So that's really nice. So you got comfort, fuel efficiency. The heater directly measures and integrally adjusts its power output based on the indoor temperatures, ensuring a very comfortable experience and saving fuel. It monitors carbon monoxide with a CO sensor, making it a much safer unit than most of them that you'll see out there. So I'm very happy with this Hcalory unit as well as the other one. They're both very nice. Obviously this one's my favorite. It's got the biggest amount of options, and it's got the bigger tank, which is so much nicer. I mean, I literally ran it for 3 days on one tank. So hopefully this video will give you guys some good input. I don't know of any negatives for this, to be honest with you. It's easy to put together. I prefer keeping the unit inside so it's recirculating the hot air that it creates in here. If you have it outside, it's constantly bringing in cold air that it's got to heat up, which is going to take more energy, just so you know that. So if you go and stick it outside and you don't get the same time I've got, that's because you put it out and it was taking in that cold air and it had to heat it up, which takes longer and more energy. So yeah, much better keeping it inside. Just port the exhaust outside. You're not going to have any problems. Seal up around the exhaust is probably a good idea. I hadn't sealed up around the exhaust yet. I've got some high heat silicone I could do that with, but I wanted to try it out first. Now that I know I'm happy with it, it's going to stay put right where it's at. I'm going to do that. All right, if you like it, I'm going to leave you a couple of places that you can buy it on. One is Amazon, and I'll also give you a link to the Hcalory website. If you go to the Amazon and you put in the code, that'll give you 15% off the purchase price of this Hcalory Toolbox Max heater. And so I'll leave that link down below for you if you want to try that out. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week. Take care.